What's going on, everybody? Your boy Launchpad1412 here of my recap and reviews. First episode right here. I'm very excited to bring this to you guys. I've been wanting to do this for a while. Not necessarily the channel. I didn't even think I was gonna make another channel for it, but I didn't want to overdo this with my video game channel. If you wonder what my video game channel, if you're new here and you don't know what it is, the links for my video game channel will be in the description. I play Madden a lot, NBA 2K, a little bit Mario Kart here and there, a little bit of Black Ops 3 here and there. Just in case you're interested, man. So definitely click that link in the description if you're interested. I also have my Twitter link, Twitch, and Instagram too. If you're interested in that, you want to follow me on those sites, definitely feel free to do that. But let's get into this video a little bit. Before I actually get into the episode, let's talk about the three acts that's going to be in this episode. The first act, well, all the episodes I'm going to do in movies, I'm going to try to do this for the most part. I can't promise this every time, but for the most part, I'm going to try to do this. The first act, I'm going to talk about, I'm going to rate it. I'm going to give you the good and bad things and things that stood out to me in the episode or the movie. The second act, I'm going to do interesting character. The interesting character, this is probably not going to be the main character all the time, but a character that stands out to me. And in Gotham, there's so many characters that, you know, there's a lot to choose from. It's a little bit easier to do than most TV shows. Because like Rosewood, there's only like 4 or 5 characters that are like, that really matter in that show, so it's that's gonna be a little bit harder to do. But Gotham, there's so many characters, you know, you can do that. So I'm gonna try to do that with especially with the I can't even get the words out. Especially with the TV show, because it's gonna be a little bit easier. And last but not least, the third act would be my favorite lines in the TV show or movie. Probably more for the TV shows and movies. When I watch the movies, for the first time, I'm going to be more focused on the movie. I'm not necessarily going to come to the movie theater with a notepad and start writing down lines. So it's going to be a little harder for me to remember the lines. So definitely bear with me on that. But if there are lines that stand out, I probably will remember it, and I'll talk about it in that review or the recap. But anyway, with no further ado, let's get into it. You know, Gotham, right? We're going to talk about Gotham. You know, we're late. I'm late, actually. I'm late. Season 2, episode 9. A bitter pill to swallow. You know, we're going to talk about that. Some things that stood. I got my notes here, though. Some things that stood out. I'm just going to kind of go ramble here a little bit. My rating for this video, that'll be not the video, but it's for this episode, a bitter pill to swallow. I'm giving it 8.5 out of 10. One of my favorite episodes, no, but an episode that I really did enjoy a lot. People have this thing about this Gotham world. They like in the blogs, I do read the blogs, and they talk about how they don't like how kooky it is or how crazy it is or insane, but you gotta remember, it's been like this for years. And I know it was this TV show is off the meter. I know that. I already know that. You don't even gotta explain it to me, but I like it. I think it's supposed to be like that. Now, Gotham's always been like that. I mean, look at the villains that are in Gotham. The Joker. I mean, one of the most unpredictable, loony, psycho, whatever you want to say, villain of all time resides in Gotham. So that right there doesn't tell you that it should be loony or kooky or crazy or wild or whatever. Nothing else will. But with no further ado, let's get back into the episode. But yeah, this episode was cool. The assassin. It's funny. I was watching with my wife when Jim Gordon was gonna get assassinated. Well, not assassinated, but he was gonna get attacked by the assassin in the elevator. I called it right from the gate. I already knew that assassin was gonna attack him. It didn't look like it at first. It kind of looked like a random guy in the elevator, but I kind of knew what was going on, man. He had the piano. Next, I know he had the piano wire around his neck. It's just insane how Gordon's able to take on these assassins. These are assassins here. In this episode alone, this guy beat up about 3 or 4 assassins. Now these are supposed to be, I guess, top-notch assassins. I just think it's interesting how he's taking them all out in this episode here. I know he's Jim. I know he's Jim Gordon. I know he's the main character, my favorite character out of everybody in the show. But you know, I just think that part is amazing. And another thing about the show that I like Jim Gordon's arc here, because he's kind of going from season 1 where he's been pretty mild and sane throughout the whole season. Not really, you know, not really too out there, you know, not nothing too crazy going on. But in this season right here, his limits are getting tested. You know, the Barbara Gordon thing in the last episode. This episode, he got the gun in my man's mouth. My man, the assassin, they took down the last assassin. This guy, his mouth is open, and he's begging for. It's like he's begging for Gordon to shoot. Did something come down? It's like he's begging for Jim Gordon to shoot him. And Jim Gordon has a perfect opportunity. He's over top of him. He has him pinned down. He could just shoot him right there. Like, he could just take him out right there and he'll be gone. But I love how he just held back, man. Just showing some restraint. Like, I feel like I wasn't sure what he was going to do. I wasn't sure what he was going to do. But I feel like that was so needed because of Jim Gordon's history in the comics and even in the show. So I felt like that part was needed. His because he's the hero. He's the hero that this show is based around him. His ability to show restraint, I think, was so much needed. The captain getting stabbed, man. How about the captain getting stabbed right there? But it's just, it's kind of crazy. He gets stabbed like hard, but he still had enough. He still had enough strength left to take that gun and shoot my man 2-3 times to put him down. From what I understand, I've never got stabbed before, nothing like that, or shot. But from what people have told me, when you get stabbed or shot, it's a little hard to just react. I mean, for the way he's reacting right there was just crazy. What about all the assassins attack? I know I already talked about that right there, but I'm just kind of just amazed at how all them assassins was coming at Jim Gordon. He was just able to take them out, but we're not gonna get into that too more. All right, Penguin versus Riddler, Penguin and Riddler arc here. What about the Riddler's arc, man? I love his change of pace in this season. The Riddler is one of my favorite villains of all time. To see this change of pace is it's just amazing to me. I like how they did. I'm talking about previous episodes here a little bit. How they did the kind of the double entendre a little bit. How he has two people. Well, he has another person that's talking to him that's a little bit darker, and he's kind of like the angel with the other person kind of like the devil. Just the bad guy that Bruno just keep encouraging him to do the wrong thing to bring out his inner bad boy or bad man, whatever you want to say. I thought that was interesting there, and now it's combined. And this is not Edward Enigma anymore. This is the Edward Enigma, and it's interesting, man. It's crazy. His conversations, the way he's trying to sway. I like how he tried to sway the Penguin to kind of be on his team a little bit, because in Batman Forever, the Riddler sways Two-Face, to try to be on his team too, to go up against the Batman. Well, what I think is smart about the Riddler, that he understands the strengths and numbers, and he understands that the Penguin is a guy that he wants on his side, a guy that he could kind of see riding with him. He feels like they're on the same wavelength. Maybe not as far as intelligence, even though a Penguin is pretty smart, but as far as just being untouchable, just being someone that's just wild. But we're gonna get into that a little bit. But they're them two together in this episode, fantastic. I loved every second of it. It was funny when Riddler had his syringe. The very first part, he has a syringe and he's kind of sticking it in the Penguin. He's just like, this Riddler guy, to say his switch is just, I can't even explain it to a degree, man. But his switch is just so crazy, man. He's like, you gotta get the syringe, you gotta get sedated, this is that. He just his force on him right there. It was just so funny to me. But yeah, so interesting. Let's see what else we have here. Alfred and Bruce. I don't know if I talk about Alfred and Bruce Wayne a little bit. I'll touch on that a little bit. I like their connection. A lot of people say they don't like Alfred and how the way he is. Alfred's actually one of my top 5 favorite characters in this entire show, and with so many characters, talking about Fish Mooney, Dollmaker, so many characters, for someone to be in your top 5 is saying a whole lot. But I love how he's a father to Bruce Wayne, not necessarily an equal to Bruce Wayne like he is the Batman, so to speak. When he talks to Batman in the comics, he's just kind of the not even a wise cracker, but kind of a wise cracker a little bit, as far as just kind of just hitting Batman with the wisdom. You guys know how he is, hitting Batman with the wisdom and just letting him decipher it himself whether he should use it or not, opposed to him talking to a younger Bruce Wayne who he has to mentor and has to help teach him how to grow and maneuver in this world. I like both of their interactions in this video. It's kind of funny to me how Silver, the girl that's Giovanni's girl, I believe that's the Giovanni, the mayor, his daughter, still has Bruce Wayne right around his finger. I kind of think that's interesting how she still has that, because I'm thinking about, this is Bruce Wayne, this is Batman now. He's supposed to be, smart, clever. But even though he's young, he's still young. But Giovanni and Silver, they have that one thing on him, and that's his love for his parents. And Giovanni kind of had Bruce Wayne. He's kind of got Bruce Wayne by the clutches a little bit, because he's like, man, I know who killed your parents. He knows, he had the file that he knows. And it's just funny how in the other episode, this episode before this, how Giovanni, he's just so, he's so masterful with the with the merchandise, with the the parents' information, the killer's information. he's just so masterful with it. He's so calm, cool, collected with it, and confident with it. How he maneuvers it and stuff. I know that's something probably insane to point out, but I just like how he is with it, and it's just crazy. But when you see, Bruce Wayne, he's seeing that. He's noticing his gestures, and and how he's kind of protecting this information, like almost like it's his life. So definitely that. So yeah, that's too was very interesting. Another thing that stood out was the cannibalistic guy. My goodness, man, this guy right here, man, this guy is actually eating people. Man, I know it's Gotham, but my goodness, man. And the assassin lady, here the assassin, she calls him up and says, okay, so you eat people. Who am I to judge? Wow, what a line. What a line right there. So that's the little brief, my brief thoughts on the episode. If I'm missing something or something you guys want to talk about, definitely, put it in the comment section. We're going to talk about my character of interest real quick, which is actually the assassin lady, the head of the assassin lady. I remember how she catches the dice. I like how she did that. It just, it's just crazy that there's somebody, I'm not saying it's crazy that, I can't even believe I just said that, but it's just interesting how out of everybody, it's like so many different people in this world, man, in this Gotham world here, which you gotta have someone that, I guess this is mandatory, you gotta have someone there that you can go to that has a group of assassins around them that they can just send to assassinate anybody anytime. I guess that's so appropriate. It's just interesting how she is, how determined she is to get the job done. I like when she's talking to Gallivan's sister. I can't think of her name right now, but Gallivan's sister, I telling her, is it personal or is it business? Personal costs extra, and cops also cost extra. I thought that little spew right there was interesting. That little interaction between them two was interesting. Just the way she is and her swagger, I just thought it was interesting. She's my character of interest. Put down your character of interest and whoever you think it is. And last but not least, we're gonna talk about some lines, and I'm gonna try to make this as short and sweet as possible because these lines are kind of long. But the lines that stood out to me, my favorite lines of this episode. All right, the first one is from Alfred. He says, getting information out of a girl like that requires a level of deception you do not yet possess, Bruce. I love how he worded that. I love how he's sunning young Bruce, because if you look, I don't know if you've seen some of Batman's episodes as far as like in the Batman animated series, like the later versions, even some of the earlier versions, but how he's deceptive, how he plays mind game. Like he played this one episode I can remember real quick. He plays a mind game. Him and Nightwing, they play a mind game with Catwoman, and Catwoman ends up, giving them all the information that they need. I don't know if you guys know about the episode, but I just remember that episode. And when he said that, that's exactly what I thought about that episode right there. Getting information out of a girl like that requires a level of deception you do not yet possess, Master Bruce. Man, I thought that line was on point right there. That was so perfect. Next line. I come to find out I'm just a man. At the right moment, a man might do anything. Any man. There is no line. It's just the law. That's what separates us from the animals. There is no line. The captain says this. The captain says this, man. And he says it to Jim Gordon. I'm sure if you watch the episode, you know what I'm talking about. And this right here makes me think of The Dark Knight. I don't know if you remember The Dark Knight, but the Joker, he basically is saying this same thing. When he was like, these people, basically he's saying that everyone just goes with order. And these people are who, I can't remember The Dark Knight line, I can't remember it, man. But he was like, basically like, these people at the right time, at a certain time of trouble, basically you'll see who they really are. Because the Joker, he was just trying to make it so that everyone was just going to be with no rules, nothing, just savages. And he really wanted to show Batman that the only reason why people will actually cooperate is because of the law. And that's what I took from this line. Maybe that's not the right way to take it, but that's what I took from this line. It reminded me of the Joker in The Dark Knight so much. It was just I thought it was a great line. And I think there's a lot of truth to this line too, man. I think there's a lot of truth, man. I come to find out I'm just a man. At the right moment, a man might do anything. Yeah, I agree with that. In the right moment, yeah, any man. There is no line. It's just the law. That's what separates us from animals. From the animals, yeah. Yeah, I think there's a lot of truth to that line. All right, last line, and we're going to get up out of here. A man with nothing that he loves is a man that cannot be bargained. A man that cannot be betrayed. A man that answers to no one but himself. And that's the man I see before me Edward Nigma, a free man, Edward Nigma. I'm going to say it again. I'm going to say it one more time. A man with nothing that he loves is a man that cannot be bargained with. A man that cannot be bargained, I'm sorry. A man that cannot be betrayed. A man that answers to no one but himself. And that's the man I see before me. A free man by Edward Nigma, man. That line right there. Like, once again, you know, Edward Nigma persuading Penguin to kind of be on the team with him a little bit and kind of, you know, stay on par with him. I just thought it was brilliant. I thought it was a brilliant line by Edward Nigma. Now, do I specifically believe in this? Nah, because even if you, I just want to get that out there. You know, even if you're a man that has nothing to love, you still have love for yourself. You know, and for most people, I would say 99.5% of people, you know, their innate thought to staying alive. Like, if you go off a cliff, you're gonna hang on to the. It's just that innate, you know, that shows that you care. It's just an innate thing that, you know, you still want to be alive. So that's why I just want to put that out there because it's this line right here. It's kind of like walking a tightrope a little bit. So I wanted to put that out there. But yeah, I like the line a little bit, and not just the line. I like the confidence that Edward Nigma is saying to, you know, to Penguin at the moment. He's looking down on him. He's looking at him straight in his eye. Penguin is just told him about how his mom is a saint. His mom just died. Penguin has a knife at his throat. And he's like, my mom is a saint, you know, because he was really feeling the moment. You know, he was feeling some type of way. And Penguin, we've seen people kill a lot of people, you know, in season 1 and 2. And Edward Nigma knows that he could kill him at any time, and he knows he's a killer. But Edward Nigma is still looking at him dead in his face and telling him, like, man, you are the man. Basically, and not just you are the man, but you are the man right now, and this is the man that I need you to be right now, the man that I want you to be right now. And those lines, you know, those lines right there, the Penguin could have took that line, those lines that he said, and slashed him, like, yeah, you're right, slashed him and kept on going on by his business and started doing whatever he wanted to do. But it was just his delivery, his confidence, and everything else was just enough, you know, to get the Penguin to just sit there and think about it and be like, you know, this guy got a point. That's the end of the episode right here. A couple other things real quick, you know, the quarter hours thing at the end where they kind of knifed up the cop, that was interesting. I want to see what they're going to do with that. But that's the end of the episode. I'm not going to go on no longer. It's your boy, Launchpad1412. Tell me what you think in the description about this episode. I'm out. Peace.